Over the past few weeks, there's been a ton of horror movies released, some of them with rave reviews, and the one I'm reviewing today is none other than Backrooms. Now, me personally, I do not know a lot of the lore with Backrooms, but I was a person back in the 2010s that was watching a lot of liminal space videos. Today, we're going to find out if the movie is just as good as those videos I was watching on YouTube. So, without further ado, let's get into the review. I have to say that this movie is very middle of the road for me, but let's get into the scores and find out exactly why. Starting off with terror, how scary is Backrooms? Well, for me personally, there was only a couple of scenes that were actually terrifying and very creepy, and both of those scenes happen to be found footage scenes. Unfortunately, in this movie, we don't get a ton of found footage, but they are definitely the best part of the movie. I don't want to spoil anything, but there was a particular scene involving a Christmas tree that absolutely had me shaken, and was by far the scariest part of this movie. Outside of that, this movie wasn't really scary at all, but I'm still going to give it a 3 out of 5 because there were some scenes that were genuinely terrifying. How about the effects though? Were they good in this movie? Well, honestly, they were for the most part. There was a lot of VFX shots that you could definitely tell were CGI. Without spoiling anything, there's also some people/entities that you see that have some stuff going on with them that use practical makeup effects, and they look fantastic and creepy as hell. So overall for the effects, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. And now we get to the story, which for me was the weakest part of this movie. Now, it is more of an atmospheric, psychological thing going on with the Backrooms here, but the thing that I didn't like was the two main character stories were very ambiguous for certain parts, and while there were some connections with what's going on in the Backrooms, it really wasn't explored upon. The other thing that I didn't really like was the best parts of this movie were definitely the found footage parts. They were the creepiest and they were the best shots in the film. Everything else that was seen in a regular perspective wasn't that interesting and kind of took the fear out of the movie, at least for me personally. Overall for the story, I am going to give it a 3 out of 5. Lastly, was the Backrooms fun? Honestly, yes, this was an enjoyable watch, and it says that the movie is an hour and 50 minutes. It felt way shorter. I felt like this movie flew by, so that's definitely a good thing with how the story was progressing. It definitely could have went in an opposite direction and felt extremely long, but they did a good job of keeping things interesting in the movie not feeling like it's dragging on forever. So I will give this one a 4 out of 5 for fun. And that just leaves us with one final question. Was the Backrooms terrifying or terrible? I would have to say this one was terrifyingly familiar, but different. Have you seen the Backrooms? If you have, let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next review.